Hello, everybody. On behalf of General Mills and its many and varied services, a warm welcome to our Betty Crocker kitchens.
Welcome back. Today, we're taking a trip back to a simpler time when a familiar blue box was a staple in kitchens across the country. Betty Crocker was more than a brand. She was part of our family traditions. Join us as we remember 20 classic Betty Crocker cakes that have vanished from our grocery store shelves. Number 1. Cherry Chip Cake. Oh, that delicate pink hue speckled with vibrant red candied cherries. It was delightfully light and airy with a distinct almond flavor. This cake was a frequent visitor at kids' parties and summer gatherings, and its pink color made it especially appealing. Perhaps it vanished because the ingredients became less popular or because tastes shifted towards richer flavors. Number 2. Tunnel of Fudge Cake. Remember this one? That dense, fudgy ring hiding a gooey, even fudgier center. It was incredibly rich and moist, almost like a brownie, and it was always the showstopper at any potluck. It required a special bundt pan for baking, which may have made it less accessible to the average home baker. Number 3. Pineapple Upside-Down Cake. While this cake is still around, the convenience of the Betty Crocker mix with that perfect balance of tangy pineapple and sweet brown sugar topping feels like a distant memory. With its colorful top of pineapple rings and cherries, this cake was a guaranteed hit on any table. Perhaps as people began to bake more from scratch, the mix's popularity declined. Number 4. Lemon Chiffon Cake. Light as air and bursting with zesty lemon flavor. This cake was often frosted with a simple glaze or whipped cream to let its delicate texture shine. It was a perfect choice for a hot summer's day. Maybe the multi-step baking process, even from a mix, seemed a bit daunting for busy bakers. Number 5. Butterbrickle Cake. The combination of toffee bits baked into a buttery cake was simply irresistible. That crunchy texture against the soft crumb was so unique. I haven't seen brickle as a common flavor in modern mixes in a long time. Number 6. German Chocolate Cake. While the classic remains, some of the earlier versions were more about a rich, dense cake rather than just the topping. The flavor was deep and satisfying, often paired with a homemade-style coconut pecan frosting that was more like a caramel. It felt like a true labor of love, even from a box. Number 7. Strawberry Shortcake Cake. This wasn't just a simple cake. The mix often came with a packet of strawberry flavoring to add to the cake itself, giving it a subtle pink color and a sweet, authentic berry taste. It was the perfect foundation for a mountain of whipped cream and fresh strawberries, making it a staple at summer picnics and family barbecues. Number 8. Devil's Food Cake. Certain variations. We're not talking about just any chocolate cake. We're talking about those specific mixes that created a deep, almost black crumb with an intense, bittersweet cocoa flavor. It was the kind of cake that made your mouth water just from the rich, dark color, and was the go-to for serious chocolate lovers. Paired with a simple white frosting, the contrast was iconic. Number 9. Angel Food Cake. The magic of this mix was in its simplicity and elegance. The cake itself was incredibly tall and light, almost cloud-like. But what made it special were the included glaze packets. A delicate raspberry, a bright lemon, or a rich chocolate. They allowed you to customize a light and airy cake into a decadent dessert for any occasion. Number 10. Peanut Butter Cake. A truly comforting cake. This one had a dense, moist texture and a subtle, nutty flavor that was just perfect. It often had a simple peanut butter frosting, or a rich chocolate glaze on top. It was the ultimate treat for a kid after school, and its flavor profile was a delicious break from the standard chocolate and vanilla cakes. Number 11. Spice Cake. This was the ultimate fall cake, with a warm, fragrant aroma that filled the entire house. It was often a bit denser than other cakes, with a complex blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. It was perfect for pairing with a cream cheese frosting and a hot cup of coffee on a chilly autumn evening. Number 12. Coconut Cream Cake. This cake mix was designed to deliver a taste of the tropics. The cake itself was super moist with a subtle coconut flavor, and the included frosting mix or recipe created a luscious, creamy topping filled with real coconut flakes. It was a dessert that made you feel like you were on vacation, even if you were just in your kitchen. Number 13. Marble cake. While marble cake still exists, the older mixes had a specific dramatic visual appeal. The chocolate was a deep, dark color, and when you cut a slice, the contrast with the light vanilla was stunning. The swirls were bold and defined, making it look as good as it tasted. Number 14. Boston cream. Pie cake. This was a sophisticated dessert from a box. The cake was a simple golden yellow, but the real star was the filling and topping. The mix usually included instructions to make a rich, creamy custard filling and a separate packet for a glossy chocolate glaze to pour over the top. It was a two-in-one wonder that felt like a special treat. Number 15. Upside-down banana cake. A warm, comforting cake that was the perfect way to use up overripe bananas. The cake was moist and fragrant, and the caramelized banana topping was sweet and sticky, making every bite a delight. It was a rustic, homely dessert that was always a hit with the family. Number 16. Watergate cake. A dessert with a name as unique as its flavor. This vibrant pistachio green cake was light and fluffy with a distinct nutty flavor. It was usually topped with a simple whipped cream frosting and often sprinkled with chopped nuts. It was a quirky and memorable cake that stood out from all the others at any gathering. Number 17. Orange cake. This cake was a burst of sunshine. It had a bright, tangy citrus flavor and a soft, tender crumb. It was often glazed with a simple orange syrup, making it incredibly moist and fragrant. It was the perfect dessert for a summer potluck or a cheerful afternoon snack. Number 18. Carrot cake. The old Betty Crocker mixes for carrot cake were often a bit simpler than today's versions. They were less intensely spiced, allowing the natural sweetness of the carrots and the richness of the walnuts to shine. It was a classic, wholesome cake that was a familiar and comforting sight on any dessert table. Number 19. Date and nut cake. This was a rich, dark, and wonderfully dense cake. It was packed with the chewy sweetness of dates and the satisfying crunch of walnuts, giving it a complex texture. It was the kind of cake that felt both comforting and a little bit fancy, perfect for a dinner party or a quiet evening at home. Number 20. Brownie cake mix. This was a truly unique offering. It was a mix that promised the best of both worlds. The rich, deep chocolate flavor of a brownie, but with the soft, tender crumb of a cake. It was the perfect compromise when you couldn't decide between the two, creating a delicious dessert that was a standout on its own. These 20 cakes are just a small taste of the many sweet creations that Betty Crocker brought into our lives. They weren't just recipes. They were threads woven into the fabric of our family traditions, the sweet centerpiece of countless celebrations, and the comforting reward after a long day. While you might not find these exact mixes on supermarket shelves anymore, many of these recipes live on in well-worn vintage cookbooks, tucked away in recipe boxes, and in the cherished memories of our grandmothers. Did any of these Betty Crocker cakes spark a memory for you? Do you remember baking or eating any of these classics? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your sweet stories from the past. Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey, and we'll see you in the next video.